So I've been exploring with quite a few different ways to try to access this state of well-being for a number of years now, because as an INFJ, as somebody who uses introverted intuition, I have felt an immense amount of suffering. As an intuitive in a world that is not made for intuitives, I have repressed some of my greatest gifts. I have not made time for tapping into some of the spaces or the ways of being that are most important to me. And the more I keep embracing that, the more I keep opening up to the importance of that, of like who I actually am as an intuitive, as somebody who needs space, who needs time to go in deep, but also to express, also to like re-emerge from that space and go into the FE space, extroverted feeling kind of space, and express what has been found in that introverted intuition space. So I've tried so many things, you know, in the mornings I'm like always trying to have some kind of routine to try to feel better. And so, you know, I've tried a bunch of things like waking up and going jogging immediately, or like waking up and forcing myself to meditate right away. And honestly, those are things that, while I know that they serve me really well, nothing gets my day going as well as starting the day off with some intuitive conversation with myself by making a video like this, by journaling, by just letting myself go into that intuitive space. As I continue to experiment with ways for finding inner peace, for just like feeling like I'm living a life worth living, that is a piece that I'm finding to be more and more important. Just giving myself the time to go there, because I realize that when I don't, I feel a lot more frazzled. I feel myself slipping further and further into depression every time. The longer I stay away from journaling, the longer I stay away from just sitting here talking like this, the longer I stay away from having meaningful, like deep, like intuitive types of conversation with people, the longer I stay away from accessing intuitive kind of intuitive creations by others. Like, there's nothing more nourishing than going and listening to another intuitive speak. Some of the places that I'm particularly enjoying for that are the Frank James YouTube channel. I'm liking Personality Hacker, and I'm also liking a lot of like just what is considered, I guess, intuitive rambling like this, you know, where you feel the person just exploring their mind intuitively and speculating, and not necessarily having like an A, B, C type of format when they're talking, but something that flows a little bit more, something that you feel like is coming from this space that's more, authentic. And this is what's interesting too, as I've spoken about authenticity and what's being authentic and or not. Now suddenly I'm getting this image that like what's authentic to an intuitive, what's authentic to somebody who uses introverted intuition as their dominant function. Of course, this space is going to feel more authentic. Of course, this kind of speaking, this kind of conversation is going to feel most natural and most authentic. This is why I'm really embracing this intuitive revolution more and more every day, because of course, what feels most natural to an intuitive is to be intuitive, and that won't feel natural to a sensor. And so all these intuitives who are who are, you know, like me, like looking out at the world and feeling like everybody's kind of being fake and inauthentic. Like there's also a reason for that, you know. They're maybe being they're being real in their own way, in their own like physical way, probably in their own sensory kind of way because they're a sensor. And an intuitive will be authentic in their own intuitive way. These are just, I don't know, suddenly ideas that are coming to me right now that I have not thought about at all, that I'm just kind of expressing off the top of my head. But this is exactly like what helps me feel better every day. Like just having a conversation like that, even like if I'm just kind of saying something suddenly like this and not knowing at all if what I'm saying makes sense, not knowing if it's like based in some kind of like actual fact or reality, but just speculating, just allowing myself to imagine like different meanings and different possibilities. Like I don't know, I come to start making this video and I'm like, oh, do I really want to do that? I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. Why am I even bothering? But I seriously have noticed that the more that I do this, like as the video goes on, I start to feel like more and more alive. I start to feel better as I'm making the video. So it's like, I know that this is an important practice. That's why you'll see that this video is about allowing yourself to go there, allowing yourself to make that time to use your introverted intuition, make that time to go within, to let your mind wander and explore, to speculate, to imagine possibilities, to look at what's going on with our world, look at not only thinking outside the box, but the box itself and like how things are working and how if things are working the way that you feel like they really should be, and if there's another way of doing things. If you use introverted intuition, please let me know how you've been living this, how you let yourself go to that space, how you make it a part of your day every day so that you feel alive as an intuitive. How do you live your intuition every day?